that going to be an issue? Because if the road's not going across the railroad,
It'll be gated.
you're going to unlock the gate every morning
I guess.
and every evening close it. So people would know because somebody might want to go out there in the afternoon. Gate closes at 3 and they're there at 3:15.
Well, Jim, in all honesty, we're kind of like just in design portion of
Just
this.
asking.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, I just don't want this shirt on my plate. So there you go. It ain't right, but there you go.
No, the intent is to control the traffic onto our property, so it's not a thoroughfare
Yeah,
through our property into the development in Shippensburg side.
But your point's acknowledged. I mean, in terms of traffic, something we had discussed, which is, what's the control mechanism, for folks not just cutting through the school's property to get over to Holler.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll need to kind of work through. That's probably the next level of detail, is to sort of figure out, is it gates? Is it some other control device?
So what you're saying is we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
With I heard the pun. So, but I mean, but yeah, to your point, I mean, but even so, even without the future bridge, I mean, I think you're bringing up, even if that access road gets completed now, there's still a pathway, in that phase, what they call phase 2, but that first phase for us.
I'm not against the road coming in there. I just, like I said, there's going to be, if it goes in there now and that gate's open, they're just going to come right up through there and go up around the school and wherever they're going to go.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. And people built back there in that dead end for a reason. Be back there, no traffic.
Yeah, I think back to the point of some sort of control mechanism, non-school hours, I think is probably I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's a little bit secluded back there. And I think the other reason we're trying to propose that is with the amount of students we're adding there is diversion of traffic. So it's hopefully no more impact to that area back there. So
That gate could actually be closed at the end of the school year and be closed all summer.
yeah,
Could be.
good.
Anything else for Adam? Thank you, sir, for coming. Appreciate it.
All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Mr. Nalgo, anything else from your committee? Mr. Nalgo, anything else from your committee?
No, that's it.
Okay. We'll just take a moment here and we'll be transitioning to the public meeting. Good evening and welcome to the August 10th meeting, Planning and Action Meeting of the Shippensburg Area School District Board of Directors. Mr. Barwin, if you could please take roll.
Mr. Jim Bard,
Here.
Mr. Mike Carey,
Here.
Mr. Charlie Suiters,
Here.
Dr. Nathan Goetz is still online,
Sort of here.
Dr. Michael Lyman, Mr. Kirk Noggle,
Here.
Mr. Fred Scott,
Here.
Mrs. Becky Wolfinger,
Here.
and Mr. Drew Alosi.
Here. You all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a point of order, on August 3rd, the Board of Directors held an executive session to talk about contract issues, real estate issues, and personnel issues. And then before the meeting tonight, we talked about those 3 items as well. As we begin our deliberations this evening, let's once again be reminded of our duty to represent all of the children of this school community, regardless of age, sex, race, or creed, and regardless of need or ability. This meeting is being live streamed and uploaded to the district's YouTube channel. Maybe we now have a moment of silence to reflect on our thoughts, words, plans, and actions on behalf of the students in the Shippensburg Area School District, and as well a moment of silence for Mr. Darrell Klein, 1962 school district graduate, Mr. Richard Rick Gutshaw, 1974 Shippensburg School District graduate, Franklin Daniel Frank Goldsmith, 1978 Shippensburg School District graduate, and Renee M. Russell, 1969 Shippensburg Area School District graduate. Thank you. I'd like to move to item 1F, which would be the approval of the posted agenda. I'll seek a motion to approve.
Fred Scott, make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
I would actually like to make a motion to amend the agenda.
Okay. And what motion are you making to amend?
I would like to move 6H, which is on discussion currently, the Super Kids K through 2 curriculum, move it from discussion to action as 5N.
Is there a second to Ms. Wolfinger's motion?
Second.
Mr. Suiters, discussion?
I think it's important to do this as it's kind of come down the pike and we're, 10 days from school. I think it's important for the board to communicate to our teachers and families whether we're in support or not in support of it so that teachers can make plans for it or not make plans for it so we kind of have a decision instead of waiting for us to put it on action on the 24th, which is after school.
Any other comments? Very good. So the motion on the table is to amend the agenda, moving 6H to 5N. All in favor?
Yes, sir.
Opposed?
Hey.
Okay, that's, roll call, sir.
Mr. Bard,
Yes.
Mr. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Suiters,
Yes.
Dr. Goetz,
I'm sorry, I didn't motion. I couldn't hear what was going on, so I don't feel like I can vote.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mrs. Wolfinger,
Yes.
and Mr. Alosi.
Yes.
You missed me.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Noggle. Already no, from the nay. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, that item is moved. The next vote will be for the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is approved. Next is a citizen comments regarding agenda items. There are two individuals that had provided intention to provide public comment. So 3 minutes, if you could come to the mic, Mr. Levi Kressler. Yeah, I realize the topic, but if you would want to take care of that at the beginning, you're more than welcome, and then I don't know how long this meeting may last.
Make him run.
All right, nice to see you guys.
Welcome back.
Levi Kressler, Southampton, Franklin Township in Shippensburg. First of all, just wanted to say excited for the return to school for everyone. Thanks to all the teachers and admin and you guys as well for spending time to devote to our kids getting a quality education. Just a couple of dates of things that are coming up. Community night is August 21st. It's a great opportunity to showcase all of our athletic teams, band, cheerleaders, everything else, and booster clubs. And it's a good time for everyone to display their school spirit, so hopefully people can make it there. Friday, September 4th is the first home football game. It's also the annual Hall of Fame induction. This year we have 3 wonderful inductees. There'll be a banquet at 5 o'clock, and then they will be introduced on the field at halftime of the football game. The Greyhound Foundation Golf Tournament is Sunday, September 20th. Information on signing up can be found on the district website. It's a really great event that raises money for our kids in the district and really celebrates our wonderful district. Mr. Scott said he's signing up tonight, actually, so that's good. And I believe that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kressler. Mr. Hess, you indicated you also had events.
He always does that.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Kressler. I'm just here to remind everybody, if you haven't heard, community night. It's our annual community night. It's going to be at the stadium. Again, this is the second year for that. This is going to be the first real community night. We had one we had to put off because of construction. But it's going to be at the stadium. It starts at 5 o'clock. From 5 till 7, we have an area set up where a whole bunch of booster clubs, pretty much all of them, except maybe 1 or 2, are going to have food, drinks, and some of them have spirit wear and other things that they're selling, or maybe some tickets for things that they're going to be selling throughout the year. So it's a good chance for them to make some money. So we hope everybody comes out, and everybody here obviously is invited. That's from 5 to 7. And at 7 o'clock, we're going to start the pep rally portion. At 7 o'clock, we're going to honor the past champions from last school year. We have a couple team champions and a couple individuals that we would like to recognize. And after that, we're going to introduce all the fall sports, including band and cheerleaders, for the upcoming season. So it's a great way to kick off the year, and hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hess. Moving on, student representatives. Haven't seen them. Next, item 3B, superintendent's report.
Thank you. So donation report. We'd like to thank the following 2 organizations. Franklin Orthodontics for a monetary donation of $250 to the Mini-Thon Club at for the school district. And then Volvo Construction, $1,500 towards the Veterans Day program, which we greatly appreciate and is a wonderful event. Enrollment report. So we have currently, and this will fluctuate mightily continually over the summer, we have 3,733 students as of August 3rd. We have 1,114 at the senior high, 480 at the, 872 at the middle school, 604 at the intermediate, and Grace B. Lours has 128, Nancy Grayson has 515, and Shippensburg has 480. Currently enrolled in kindergarten, we have 109 students at Shippensburg and 97 at Grayson. And that concludes my enrollment report.
Thank you, Mr. August. Moving on to item 4, which is the consent agenda. Item 4A is the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Ms. Wolfinger? Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Carey. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4B is the finance, the payment of bills, financial reports, the tax report. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4C is personnel. This is a very long and comprehensive list. I'm going to point out a few individuals. Ms. Kirsten Wade, I believe here's with us here tonight. Ms. Kathy Wilt, I also believe is here tonight, and Melissa Zollinger. Welcome to the school district. Ms. Fritz, I don't know if you wanted to introduce them a little bit more.
We're excited. Kirsten is our new English teacher.
And I've had the pleasure of meeting both the other ladies here tonight, and they're super excited to join us, and we're excited to have them. We're looking forward to them joining us and doing great things for kids and teachers. So thank you.
Welcome to Shippensburg Area School District. Anybody else on the board wants to acknowledge? Moving on, further down the list, administration recommending the following resignation, which would be Ms. Andrea Piles, principal at James Byrd Elementary School. That is a very heavy loss for Shippensburg Area School District, and where she is going is definitely their gain. So she will truly be missed. Another teacher, Mrs. Marcia Schmooze, fifth grade teacher at the Shippensburg Area Intermediate School, is retiring. Just want to provide some acknowledgement to her. Lindsay Glunt, emotional support teacher at Nancy Grayson, is departing. And C.G. Holstas, social studies teacher at Shippensburg Area Middle School, is also resigning. And Hannah Sharkley, also another teacher here in second grade at James Byrd, is resigned effective retroactively to July 23rd. So for item 4C, I'm seeking a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4E is a grant application for the Noggle Foundation. 4D. Is there a motion to approve 4D, which is the resignation of Ms. Andrea Piles?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just want to thank Mrs. Piles for her dedication to the district. She was an asset to James Byrd. I know the teachers and staff of James Byrd are going to miss her endlessly. We just appreciate everything that she did while she was here in Shippensburg.
I second that.
Yep.
I think that's a universal opinion. So
Can we keep her?
we are going to keep her as long as we can. That's what I can add.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4E, grant application for the Noggle Foundation.
Let me read it. Christine Myers, business high school teacher and PBIS positive behavior intervention system team leader, is seeking approval to apply for and accept $10,000 from the Noggle Foundation. If awarded, the funds would be used to continue purchasing and utilizing PBIS behavior software and the incentive programs at the high school level for the 27-28 school year and the 28-29 school year. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We can take a quick break. I don't know. Is Drew okay?
I don't know.
right, I guess we will move on to the action agenda. 5A is the 26-27 handbooks. Administration recommends approval of the following handbooks for the 26-27 school year: Sash's Handbook, Sam's Handbook, Elementary Handbook, G Blues Handbook, Student Athlete Handbook, Greyhound Virtual Academy Handbook, Field Trip Handbook, and the Volunteer Handbook. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions? I'll pass back over.
Any comments?
I actually do.
Okay.
So let me pull it up. On the Sash's handbook, I just have some concerns with the cell phone policy, which I did email administration. I know there was some discussion with that. I just want to clarify what my concerns are. My concerns are that the cell phone bell-to-bell ban has not been signed into law by Governor Wolf yet. I think from the conversations that we've made progress since the policy had changed. I believe it was like in 2023, 2024. So we've kind of come a long way. So I guess I'm not understanding why until that law changes we would want to introduce it. But more concerning is the disciplinary process that follows behind it. If you compare what's in this to the prior version of it, I have a lot of concerns that we're so kind of quick to jump to levels of disciplinary action without involving a parent in the conversation. So if you see in the 5th offense is the first time it's mentioned that a parent or guardian will be held with the principal or assistant principal about the device. I think that should be a first step before we kind of move through a disciplinary process. So that's just my opinions on it.
Yeah, if you could come up and maybe enlighten the board on that process.
So anytime a phone is taken, like we do contact home. So even though there's not a meeting on the first offense, we are, like the administration is still calling home and addressing it with the family. If we can't get a hold of them on the phone, we'll send them an email. We'll try to make contact with them the best that we can to try to prevent it happening in the future. So even though like a meeting didn't happen on the first offense, we are still trying to reach out and try to mitigate it for the future.
No, I mean, the meeting would be when things have gotten serious and you need to go face to face with a parent.
Correct. Mm-hmm. But up until that point, we'd be calling home the entire time, trying to figure out why the student was still not able to comply with the rules. So.
How many times do you keep calling it parents? When is it 4 times? They didn't bring the got 4 times?
No, like on the first offense, we would contact the parents. So like when we're just not even giving them discipline, we're just calling home and saying, hey, you know, your student had their phone taken today. This is why. Okay, we were able to give it back to them at the end of the school day, but we would hope in the future you could help us like enforce that they're not to have their device. So that's honestly something we pretty much do for every offense. So that is not unique to cell phones. You know, we send an email home with every referral that comes through so that they're notified via email. We also contact parents, depending on the offense as well, to follow up and help make sure that we're changing the behavior both in the building and at home.
And just to be clear, first offense is a warning.
It's a warning. There is no disciplinary action on the first offense.
Okay. Just take the phone and put it away.
So we take it for the day and we return it to them at the end of the school day.
Third offense, what happens?
So that would be up there. So the second offense, they would receive detention. Again, we've contacted home at this point. We've had a conversation with the student. So they would receive detention. On the third offense, we'd contact home again, have another conversation with the student, and then progress with in-school suspension. Because you're on the third time, we've had conversation, we've talked to the family, we've talked to the student, we've tried to curb the behavior. So.
Is that mentioned in policy? Is that mentioned in policy or the handbook?
So this is in our handbook. This is like the process that we'll follow as an administrative team if they violate.
Okay.
Yeah, we always notify the families if their students are written up. They'll always get an email. We will do our due diligence to make sure that we're trying to contact home. But they will always get that notification via email, and then the suspension actually get mailed in the as a letter as well.
We don't there's no mandatory face-to-face. It can all be done by email.
We can do it by email. We're trying to be as accommodating to the families. We have families that can't always get into the building, so we've done Zoom calls, we've done phone calls, we've done in-person meetings. Just try to get the family the best that we can.
I believe total parents should be made to come into the school.
Yeah, we do our best. Yeah,
I know you do.
yeah. Thank you.
I guess my question is why the difference between the 25-26 version and it was all detentions pretty much in the old handbook, and then moving it to more severity to in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension. Like what?
Yeah, so I actually attended a conference recently, about a week ago, and there was a whole session on cell phones, bell to bell, and the research behind it, the consequences behind it, the enforcement of it, and we just really believe that we need to make sure that students know, like, this is the rule. We're trying to do it to keep you engaged with your peers, both socially and academically, and we're going to do the steps to try to get you there. So we wanted to take a firmer stance on it this year.
I guess two more questions for you. One is, how are you going to make sure that it is actually being implemented in the classrooms? Because I know, again, having a teenage daughter in the school, that some classes are very lenient on it and some classes are not, and some kids are disciplined and some kids are not. And so how are you going to ensure that teachers across the board are sticking to it and we're not playing favoritism?
So we, as an administrative team, do walkthroughs. We're hitting probably about 10 to 15 teachers a week. So we're trying to get in the classrooms and observe and make sure that not just the cell phone policy is enforced, but all of the policies are enforced, right? So we are trying to get in the classrooms. We're listening to the students. We're hearing the teachers' concerns. You know, we review the policies and the expectations frequently. So
and then
that's
the last question is, how do we then make sure that teachers are not the ones on their cell phones and not modeling bad behavior for the students?
I think we handle that as an administrative team with personnel.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, is there going to be a conversation with the teachers going into this? Like, if we're holding the kids to a disciplinary, to this level of disciplinary action, like, they need to model that behavior.
Absolutely.
I know that they're using cell phones in their classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of it, during lunches, we're going to have a little loop that students can walk during lunches. So if they're finished eating and they would like to move around, they're going to be able to walk. I even purchased some different like Uno games, chess games. Believe it or not, we have a ton of students that like chess, chess, checkers, things like that they can do to engage with their peers during lunch too. So really trying to meet the kids in the middle and giving them opportunities to either move or interact socially that don't involve a device. So we are trying to meet the students in the middle, and I know this will be a lot for them, but I think we're prepared to have those conversations and work with them.
How are we going to communicate this out?
So I was waiting for board approval, and I have a whole flyer ready to send out to the families as well as to the teachers. So it's just waiting for your guys' information.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Fritz.
Quick question before you go too far. So the contact home, could that be baked into that section
I think the language needs added.
just above that?
It can, but it will be with every disciplinary offense. So if we put it there, then
Existing there or not already, but just that anytime a student is disciplined, that we contact home and inform parents, that kind of thing. I mean, we talked before, and you wanted Austin, my son, to take responsibility, and we want our students to take responsibility, but at the same time, that communication about we're going to be holding students accountable, but we're going to be in touch and contact you when things happen.
I think it would need to be like a district, probably, because it's not just going to be like us. It would have to be in every handbook. So maybe a district verbiage that would go into every handbook about that. Because I know it's happening. Again, they always get an email. We attempt phone conversations. We attempt to get them in. But I know that every school's doing that. So it should just be a universal statement that goes in all of them then, I believe.
And as a backup, parents can log into Skyward and see the display.
At any time. At any time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they can like request, that we mail them those disciplinary actions and such like that.
So would that be a policy change about having that kind of statement in the handbooks, or is it just something that can?
I think we can just add it to the handbooks, I think.
All right. We need to vote. Okay, so any other discussion, questions?
The only other thing I just want to make a comment is about, I feel like this is one of those things that, like, historically, I've seen it, it's like literally right before school starts that we're having this conversation. And I don't know what it looks like for our administration team to put these all together. I'm sure it takes a lot of time. But I know, as an example, the volunteer handbook being this far delayed into the schedule of being approved is really kind of cumbersome on volunteer groups. To not have that language for the new school year if anything's changed. So I would just like to request from administrators to please, kind of, maybe we can start some of this earlier in the year and get it on board agendas sooner than right before school starts.
Well, and the other option could be to add another, we only have one board meeting in July.
Right.
So the other option might be to have another later July meeting, where that could go on for discussion. I mean, I know our building admin wrapping up the school year, like doing a handbook in December doesn't really make a lot of sense. So that's something you would do typically, towards the end of the year, but that's often their busiest times. So we get them done as soon as they're able, and they do prioritize it.
Right. I'm kind of speaking more to like the volunteer handbook though, Bill, and like the kind of the smaller ones like the field trip.
Yeah, I mean, I think those don't have a ton of changes from year to
Right.
year, so.
That's what I'm saying. As long as if we could get them approved sooner, I think it would be
Kind of break it up is what you're
right.
inquiring about?
Break that chunk up into.
Okay. Thank you.
I think definitely we can pull the volunteer handbook at any time. I think the field trip handbook, like that's curricular based, and so I think that would be hard to put at a different time of the year. But I think that we could do the volunteer handbook at any time.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yes.
You mean nay?
I mean, nay. Yeah. Sorry.
Roll call,
My brain is
please.
like- yeah.
Mr. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Suitors,
Yes.
Dr. Goetz,
Yes.
Mr. Noggle,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Bard,
Yeah.
Mrs. Wolfinger,
No.
and Mr. Losi.
No. Item 5B, supplemental memorandum of understandings for library and PBIS. The administration recommends approval of the attached MOUs with the Shippensburg Area Education Association for the creation of supplemental positions for PBIS and library support. The cost of these supplemental positions was included in the 2026-27 budget. Is there a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Fred Scott second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5C is curriculum approvals. Administration requests approval of the following criteria: CADD, Career Readiness 6, Career Readiness 7, Career Readiness 8, Career Tech 7, Career Tech 8, and Sports Management. Do I need to read all these together, Mr. August?
I don't believe so.
Item
I mean, isn't that the note?
5CA. I just identified.
Yeah, you can just.
Okay, grouping in item 5CA, curricular resource approvals. Administration recommends approval for the following contracts. Lexia Learning Systems for $13,965 for letters training for 22 teachers from grades 1 to 5. This includes new hires and special education teachers to ensure all K-5 ELA teachers are trained in the science of reading. Number 2, Scholastic Storyworks for $1,401.96. That's for James Bird, and $1,509.84 for Nancy Grayson for printed reading materials for 3rd grade ELA instruction. iReady for Curriculum Associates, digital licenses for $74,100 for grades K-5 for ELA and math, paid partially from Title I funds and partially from the technology budget. Wilson Education for Acadians, learning online for $10,416. This is for use of the Acadians math and ELA assessments for K-5 in math and ELA out of the technology budget. And number 5, National Geographic Cengage for $12,906.63 for K-12 ELD materials from the ELL curriculum budget. Is there a motion to approve 5C and 5CA?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Oh, sorry, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5D, addendum pending board approval. Administration requests approval for a 3-year contract with Admentum for $69,539.19. This will be used for grades 6 to 8 for personalized differentiation in math and ELA. The program aligns with PA standards and replaces IXL for a $74,818.31 savings over 3 years. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second, thank you. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5E is a memorandum of understanding for paid kindergarten prep time. The administration recommends the approval of the attached MOU to provide paid prep time to kindergarten teachers prior to in-service due to the kindergarten event being held on August 14th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Fred Scott seconds.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5F, part-time ATC contract. Administration recommends approval of the attached part-time ATC agreement. There is no cost difference from the previous agreement and will be covered by the Athletic Department General Fund. Is there a motion to approve?
Fred Scott, make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Item 5G, the Nancy Grayson Library. Administration requests permission to dispose of the attached resources from the Nancy Grayson Library. These items are outdated and no longer in use. The list is not in front of me. I wouldn't read it. There's a motion, second. Is there any discussion?
So moved.
Sorry, is there a motion? Mike, is there a second? Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5H is 2026-27 Central Penn Education Associates Incorporated Agreement. This agreement is with Central Penn Education Associates, employs qualified school psychologists who administer psychoeducational assessments. These psychologists streamline the identification process for special education and continued eligibility. The proposed agreement is for the 2026-27 school year. The fee for services is as follows. Psychoeducational evaluation is $1,550 each. Presentation of the results of the evaluation is $75 per hour. Spanish bilingual psychoeducational evaluation is $3,000 each. Psychoeducational record review reevaluation is $350 each. It is a recommendation of the administration that the board approve the agreement with Central Penn Educational Associates for the 2026-27 school year. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5I is Google Workspace contract. The administration recommends renewing our Google Workspace contract. The cost is $24,790. This adds features to Google Classroom, improves security, and monitoring of student activity. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
What is this? What am I reading about? What you doing?
Dr. Stevens can explain better
Yeah.
than I can.
It's, for Google, another way they can add a little bit of money, but if you want to get any of their good security features, you have to pay extra for that. It gives the students more space to store their files. It allows us, better tracking and control over the students, or we can do searches a lot easier when, students, and better alerting when a student does something they shouldn't.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5J, DCED Facilities Grant Resolution. The administration recommends approval of the attached public school facility improvement grant resolution. This grant request is $4.9 million with it will be used for upgrades and maintenance work at Nancy Grayson Elementary School. If the grant request is successful, the district will be responsible for $1,247,500, which is 25% of the total cost. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
And discussion, I would like to ask for just a little description, if possible, Mr. Bartman or Mr. August.
Actually, I can
go
do
ahead.
that. I submitted the grant.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is, the state put another $100 million into school facility grants in this most recent budget. And so what they chose to do is they opened the window for districts to apply for a grant for 10 days. So we had 10 days to turn around a grant. And so if you remember, last year we submitted a grant to do the same kind of work at James Byrd Elementary School. So it is HVAC, heating and air conditioning, new windows and doors. So pretty much like HVAC envelope type of building improvements. So that grant is under review. I've actually had some feedback from DCED, which I like to say is positive, so it didn't go into the ether and never hear anything again. But they haven't granted any of the requests yet. But then they reopened the window, so we took advantage of that and worked very quickly to, with Tim and Michael Williams from Train to get an estimate together to have a similar grant for Nancy Grayson Elementary School. So fingers crossed we would get one or maybe both of the grants. Districts can only apply for a maximum of $5 million. So we applied for as much as we possibly could. And the grant had to be specific to either the same project district-wide, like every building gets new windows, or they were grants that were specific to one single building. So we actually took advantage of and applied for 2 grants, $5 million each for each one of our elementary schools. So they should be awarding the grants, they said, in the fall. So we'll find out.
This is absolutely incredible, and I think taking that step, if we receive one or lucky enough to receive both awards, I mean, it's game-changing, especially for deferred maintenance and the long list of facility needs and freeing up our budget.
Huge, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, a $4 million coupon for the district, essentially, because we do have to put that 25% in ourselves, which is like that 1.4 million or whatever.
Yeah, that would be my question I was going to ask, is the 25% if we're approved, like where is that 1.2 million going to come from? Is the intent to pull that out of fund balance to pay, or is it the loans that we're getting ready to borrow, which would be the better option, Caleb, for us?
Probably to include it into the borrowing.
That's what I was
Yeah, probably the spring one,
Okay.
since we'll know in the fall for this. But
Gotcha.
I assume there's supposed to be an extra zero in
There
that
is,
first
yeah.
number.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, everybody spoke up for that one. All right, item 5K, Capital Area Intermediate Unit for Discovery Education. The administration recommends the approval of the agreement with the Capital Area Intermediate Unit for Discovery Education. The cost of Discovery is $11,605. It provides digital curriculum resources for teachers to use with their students. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? And the motion carries. Item 5L, Partner for Career Development. Contract Administration recommends approval of the attached Partner for Career Development Service Agreement for the 2026-27 school year. The cost for these comprehensive career awareness and preparation services is a flat annual fee of $4,235. The district can elect to pay in full by July 31st, 2026, or in 2 equal installments of $2,117.50, due on July 31st, 2026 and January 31st, 2027. I assume this was being paid retroactively or approved retroactively?
I believe so.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5M, Transportation. Before I read this, didn't we discover that we don't need to approve van drivers?
We did.
It's best practice according to our attorney, but it's not required.
So administration is recommending that we move forward and continue to approve drivers. Okay. Approving the outdated drivers list, new driver personnel, public transportation contracts, and acknowledging contract route assignments for the school year for new van drivers, approval of 5 listed. Driver list, approval of the comprehensive master list submitted by Boyo Transportation, Heck Myers, and DL Freeze Transportation. The non-public transportation contracts, approval of the non-public student transportation agreements for Cumberland Valley Christian School and Freedom Christian Academy. And route assignments, acknowledgement of signed forms from independent contractors confirming receipt and agreement of their signed transportation routes. It's my understanding that all 3 transportation providers signed off on the routes.
That's correct. I have their signatures here. If anyone needs, I emailed it to the board on Saturday.
Okay, so knowing that information, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion?
I would like to get separate.
You'd like to recuse?
Yep.
Abstain? Okay. Okay, so we'll do a roll call for this, Mr. Barwin.
Mr. Bard?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Suiters?
Abstaining.
Dr. Goetz?
Yes.
Mr. Noggle?
Yeah.
Mr. Scott?
You know how I would feel about this, but I'll say yes.
Mrs. Wolfinger?
Yes.
And Mr. Lucy?
Yes.
Just a reminder, Mr. Suiters, there's a form that we need to get you to fill out for abstaining.
Okay, last item that was moved was 5N, Super Kids K-2 curriculum. Administration recommends approval of the district to participate in the Super Kids Reading Program efficacy study for grades K-2 during the 2026-27 school year at no cost to the district. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have I'm just going to read because I have a lot of thoughts that I needed to put on paper. And I think it's just easier for me to kind of read down through them. So I'm going to be upfront. I'm going to be a no vote on this pilot or whatever you want to call it. I've heard it several names, but I want to explain why. I want to be clear that my vote is not against improving literacy or exploring new curriculum options. I fully support ensuring our students receive strong reading instruction. However, I don't believe we've demonstrated that this specific pilot is the right approach. My first concern is teacher input and buy-in. The teachers who would be responsible for implementing this program have expressed that they are not interested in participating. And when I say that I've heard from teachers, I've heard from teachers. Literally for the last week since an email went out in the district. And I think that matters. To me, it matters a lot. Teachers are in the classrooms every day, and their perspective should be part of this decision. I know for some that they, I've read, because I sent in countless questions that teachers were included, but not enough teachers were included. Second, I don't believe we've shown that this is the best option for our students. I haven't seen haven't seen enough evidence to justify moving forward with Super Kids as a pilot. We need to be able to clearly say why this is the right curriculum before placing students in it. I'm also concerned about the use of treatment in like a focus group and a comparison group. If we're dividing students for a pilot study, we need to be very clear, or we need very clear answers about what we are trying to learn, why this model is necessary, what each group receives, and how we respond if outcomes differ. I don't feel those questions have been fully addressed. I also believe the process feels rushed, knowing that I believe their materials are not going to come until the 17th and school starts on the 20th. That is just rushing. Before approving something like this, I would expect a clear implementation plan, a training plan, measurable outcomes, a timeline, and criteria for success. I don't believe we've had enough time to fully develop those pieces, especially for something as important as early literacy instruction. I'm also concerned about the lack of a clear K-5 alignment. Super Kids ends in grade 2, so we need to understand what happens in grades 3 through 5 and how instruction transitions. We should be looking at the full literacy progression, not just K through 2 in isolation. In addition, I want to note that the current instability and leadership around this decision, with the recent loss of the curriculum director who selected the program and a new director coming in, I believe this is less than ideal timing to launch a pilot of this magnitude. When we are in a transition period like this, it makes sense to pause and ensure that long-term instructional decisions are being made with stable leadership and full continuity. Finally, I believe a pilot should be fully designed before implementation. We should already know the goals. We should know what we're measuring. We should know what success looks like, and we should also know how we will evaluate results before it ever enters a classroom. To be clear, I'm not opposed to change or to evaluating curriculum. I'm opposed to moving forward before we have done the needed work to ensure that this is the right decision for our students. I don't like the feeling that our students are going to be a guinea pig, and to me, that's maybe my own perception, but I don't think a group of students should have access to materials that another group does not have access to. Our students deserve thoughtful decisions, and our teachers deserve to have their expertise respected, and for those reasons, I cannot support this pilot.
I heard from teachers also, I don't like dividing kids in the classrooms. Who's the best students? When you label kids in a room at that age, bothers me. I think that if you're going to do it all, or don't do it all, none of it. And then teachers' opinions, I rate teachers' opinions very high. And I got emails from teachers that are in second grade, third grade that are not comfortable with this.
I mean, I believe I can address some of those, as far as like how we're going to measure it, the implementation plan. There's training, it was scheduled. Super Kids is an extension of the science of reading letters training that we have spent the last 4 years doing with our teachers. It's aligned, this program is aligned to that philosophy. We have spent, Dr. Donat and reading specialists have spent a significant amount of time vetting different programs. Super Kids is on the list of state approved ELA curriculum. We will know success based on the formative data that we get from our own systems that are already in place. Our kids are going to take the same formative assessments throughout the year. We will be able to know how they're doing in conjunction with our regular ed folks. Yeah, fully, we wish we had more time to have them review the materials. The timeline that I sent to the board clearly showed that there was an opportunity for teachers to engage and give input. Some chose to, some chose not to. This was the pick of that group. Our building administrators for the last 4 years have come to me asking for a aligned curriculum. And this is next year we have to have an approved curriculum in place. This is a way for us to really kick the tires on Super Kids. We believe it is a good program. It has evidence to support that. It is supported by the state. It will save us $130,000 by having that material, and we will be able to get good feedback from our teachers one way or the other. We will have evidence to show whether or not it is effective, and we will be ahead of the game when it comes to implementation. So, we are looking at moving and going yet another year without an aligned curriculum for our kids. Our teachers do a great job. They work hard. They've been letter trained, but right now we are piecing together science of reading, curriculum and materials to teach our kids. Ideally, we would have had more lead time, but we are unique in that we have a lab school experience that we have to get RIB approval for. My thanks to Shippensburg University for fast tracking that, and they had no issues with it. This is how we learn. This is not a spur of the moment decision. This is months and I think years in the making in order to land on this program. At the end of the year, we're still going to be picking a program which may be Super Kids, but we will have lost a year of instruction within that program. So I fully understand that we wish we had more time, but as soon as we were able to move forward with it and get the approvals, and I've kept the board appraised of this. On September 3rd, I communicated to the board the opportunity that we had. I got no feedback from any board member. I did that again on July 24th. Again, I received no feedback, negative or positive, from any board member. And to my mind, this is a great opportunity. We're going to have a learning curve in any new curriculum that we get. And to my mind, I would say we are missing an opportunity here to not only save $130,000, but get aligned curriculum in front of our kids.
Can we retitle? I don't live in education because I don't know that much about it, but the title bothers me the greatest.
What bothers me?
The title, Super Kids. I having trouble with that.
I mean, that's the name of the program.
I understand.
So I mean,
if your child picked and he's super child, and my child not picked, is he dumb child?
So that I don't think that's what the intent is, Mr. Scott. I think you're just using a curriculum. You could call it Reading 101. You could call it Reading. I mean, a name is a name. We are not assigning value. So you, to understand your point, I think I'm getting at, Fred, because this would be a pilot for us, and this would be a research project for the company, a third-party company, on behalf of Super Kids. Okay, so for us, this is us trying it out to see whether it meets our needs. Okay, the assignment of the classrooms and teachers was random. Okay, so we are not making any judgment on the specific classrooms. In order to run the study, the assignment has to be random. Okay, so it is not that the classroom getting this program is in any way deemed to be better, the teacher better, or anything better. That's how you conduct research. It has to be a randomized approach. So we're making zero value judgments on the teachers or the classrooms. Okay.
Well, the kids know about the who's.
So I know, I get the name is like, but it is not they're gonna they're gonna be using materials and learning to read just like they would be in any other program using any other materials. Okay, they're just gonna use a set of materials that had been vetted both by us and the state to be deemed effective and better at getting kids early literacy.
It would be all the students in one classroom, so it's not just a few kids in one class. So like if Mrs. DeLong's class was randomly selected to participate, then all of the students in my class would be using that curriculum.
Okay, so just be one class, so not splitting the class down the middle.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Fred, that was your concern. So yeah, it is. If the teacher was randomly selected, then every student in that classroom will be exposed to this approach. Okay.
There's also training included in the pilot. There is a trainer who comes on site and also is available to our teachers. So there's training.
Additionally, we're in the final processes of us hiring our ELA coach. I believe there's great support from that individual, and understand that that person will be there to support teachers who may struggle with implementation. So and I can say my experience with ELA programs at the elementary level is it's really about a classroom structure and what you're doing at certain times during a reading block, and you just hang the materials which are generated for the teachers. So I would say I heard one complaint from a teacher that they were not included in the study. They were not picked because theoretically they have materials that they don't need to create themselves. All right. Understanding that our teachers who are not new hires already have all of their own materials from previous years that they'll have to adjust for sure. There's still lesson plans, but ultimately, having a core curriculum makes life easier for teachers once they understand how the system works and how to utilize the materials. It's less planning on their part because they can just pull it out and use it as opposed to having to find it or generate it or otherwise, come to create it themselves.
I think I have some similar concerns and have been contacted. And I look at the timing, and we're about getting ready to hire a new curriculum director, and how that fits in and what their vision is, how this works with what they plan on doing. I think it'd be instrumental to provide kind of an open book, blank slate for that individual to develop their map moving forward for the academic year. And when it comes to hearing from parents and from students and from teachers, there's times when I have made error as far as not paying attention and listening to that. And so I just think there's been enough outreach to cause concern for me to be hesitant as an individual board member, but there's 9 of us. I didn't get an email that said, go for it, this is exciting, the teachers support this. I mean, that's a whole nother.
And I would just add to
that.
that.
Whenever people reach out, usually it's because of the bad, and they don't reach out because of the good, but sometimes no news is good news. If I don't hear anything, that's probably good. But in this case, it's been tremendous.
I want to point out there is not a end-all be-all elementary literacy curriculum. Okay, so we would not, if you got 100 teachers in a room and you brought 10 programs, each one of those programs is going to have somebody that's an advocate for it. Okay, so just understand that there is no ultimate solution. If there was, we would all be using it. And there are definitely things that will need to be supplemented in this program, but that is not unique to Super Kids.
I believe Nathan may have wanted to step in.
Go ahead, Dr. Goetz.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. So my understanding, to help me make sure I've got this right, next year the state requires all of us, all districts, to have have chosen a curriculum from their list of approved ELA curriculums, correct?
That's correct, and I would just point out, Dr. Goetz, that list was very slow in coming, which may not be surprising with the state, but we did not get even a list to consider until late in the game, which pushed this process back even further.
Right, and presently we're not using one of those state approved curriculums, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So, given those two realities, this seems like a great opportunity to try something out. As you said, kick the tires, but I really love the pilot idea. Here we have an opportunity to see whether this curriculum that is one of many we might choose, but, it was vetted, to see if it provides better outcomes than what we have been using. Knowing that we have to make a change anyway. If it's not any better than what we have been using, then we'll know that this isn't the right way to go. Whereas if we go next year and we just wholesale change to a new curriculum, whether it be Super Kids or some other curriculum, we won't have any way of knowing whether that curriculum is providing better outcomes than our current curriculum. So at least in this way, it's not the sort of perfect way of determining what is sort of best for us, but at least it gives us a trial with one that our professionals think is an appropriate curriculum. So I would, from having read the letters too, I certainly don't want to discount anyone's concerns, but it seems to me that there's a good deal of misunderstanding about what this is, and the opportunity and sort of the reality that we're going to have to choose a new curriculum by next year anyway, that's mandated. And I think that when people sort of fully understand the situation, I think a lot of the concerns go away. I mean, maybe not all of them, and I certainly don't want to discount legitimate concerns, but in my mind, this seems like a terrific opportunity, especially given that it's provided to us, I guess, free because we're participating in this pilot study.
I guess my question is, we're only allowing that certain kids to do this, you know, whoever was chosen, teachers. So the other kids are not. So them kids that were not chosen are going to fall behind a year?
So I think that's
Not been taught, they haven't been taught?
So I think that's a misnomer, Mr. Bard. We're going to use the same materials and do what we've done to support kids and get them to read. Okay, so it is not, you know, the only difference here, Mr. Bard, would be if Super Kids is like tremendously successful, which we, you know, through our formative assessments, we'll be able to discern very quickly, and then we can move to adopt this as quickly as we can based on participation in the study. So if we see a huge, you know, if it's a huge gap, then that's a clue for us to move on it as soon as possible to get this in front of our kids. And we will have the advantage of half of our teachers who already know how to use the product and can help to mentor and guide the people who haven't had an opportunity to get it. So we're ahead of the game not only with materials, we're ahead of the game with the collaborative capacity with the program, you know, that we're out of the gate even better. So, you know, if we kick this off for another year, we're going to have a learning curve with a, you know, this one or a different one where we won't, you know, our teachers won't be at that comfort level. But after a year of using this, half of our teachers will be comfortable with it and ready to move forward.
If I could just say a word about that, I mean, you know, this is part of a research study. The researchers have sent this through the IRB process. IRB stands for Institutional Review Board. And this is the process that any study involving human subjects has to go through. It's a kind of ethics panel to determine whether there is any potential harm to subjects, you know, being put in a study. So just the constraints of that system require that the researchers be very diligent in you know, monitoring, you know, how subjects are reacting to the study, and those protocols require that like changes be made if it's determined that there's any harm being done to anybody. And in some cases, you know, when the experimental group is doing so much better than the control group, and the control group would just be the status quo of whatever was happening in the past, then, you know, they sort of suggest that, like, hey, you should start doing this for everybody because it's so much better. Not that would necessarily be the case with curriculums, because the differences are probably small, but it's comforting to me to know that this has gone through an institutional review board, and there will be outside folks sort of with their finger on the pulse of how this is going.
If I'm a parent, do I have an opt-out option since I don't want my kid to be a part of somebody else's research? I just want my kids to go to Shippensburg Area School District and get educated. I don't want them to be a part of research.
I'd have to check with the company's, you know, guidelines. I mean, at the end of the day, you're coming to Shippensburg to get educated, and these are the materials that we would put in front of you. And so, you know, not this year, but next year, we wouldn't allow someone to opt out of that curriculum. You know, and because it's state approved, it would be a hard thing to justify. But I can ask that question, Mrs. Wolfinger. It would probably mean moving to a classroom that was in the control group.
I mean, as a parent, it just gives me kind of like cringy feelings to know that like some kids are going to get this program, some are not. Like, you know, we have multiple in the elementary schools, there's multiple families that have twins. And so what if you had a twin in one classroom and a twin in another classroom? Like, what does that look like? You know, there's just lots of variables that I keep thinking about, and I don't think that it's equitable for our students to, you know, some of them to, you know, learn with one strategy and some to learn with another. So I'm just gonna, you already know how I feel. I've already sent you all my questions and stuff, so.
Our students already go to 3 different schools and have any number of different teachers. There's already a whole bunch of variables that differentiate them. Like, this is small potatoes in comparison to the other differentiating variables. That seems
not to me.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, roll call.
Did we get a second on that?
We did.
We did?
Mike Carey, Mrs. Wolfinger.
Mr. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Shooters,
No.
Dr. Goetz,
yes.
Mr. Noggle,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
No.
Mr. Bard,
No.
Ms. Wolfinger,
No.
and Mr. Lucy.
No. Item 6, discussion agenda. Shippensburg Area Senior High School Graduation 2027. Administration recommends approval of Wednesday, May 26th, 2027 at the Shippensburg Area Senior High School as the high school graduation date to be held at the Lohr Center at the Shippensburg University campus. This venue is provided at no cost to the district. For discussion, I'm going to read the main topics. It is late. Item 6B, Memorandum of Understanding, President for the Pennsylvania Association of Agriculture Educators. Stadium banner contracts for item 6C. Item 6D, contract ideas for Shippensburg School District SAP assessments. Item 6E, Shippensburg Area Senior High School Library weeding log. Does that be reading log?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Weeding log?
Weeding, yeah, because like when they cut out books that are not in use anymore.
Understood, okay. Caught me off guard there. 6F, Global Data Consultants LLC contract. Item 6G, appointment of financial advisors and bond counsel. If you have any questions, board members, please forward those to administration so they can respond. Next is board comments. I will lead, no, I won't. Mr. Onagle.
Shouldn't we be citizen comments first?
Well, that comes, well, I guess that was a error. Are there any citizen comments regarding any item that is not on the agenda? Seeing none, board comments. Mr. Noggle?
No comments.
Comments? Mr. Scott?
None. None.
Mr. Carey?
No, sir.
Mr. Suiters? Mr. Bard? Stepped out. Ms. Wolfinger?
No.
And the only comment I will need to, oh, sorry, Dr. Goetz. Dr. Goetz.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, the board will commence in an executive session for a brief discussion. Please take a look at the information for the date savers. Monday, August 24th is the next board meeting. We'll lead with a Budget and Finance Committee meeting of the whole, Building and Grounds Committee of the whole, and then our regular Planning and Action meeting, Friday, August 14th, Monday, August 17th, and Tuesday, August 18th are in-service days. Thursday, August 20th is the first day of school, first day of students. Welcome back. Thursday, August 20th, and Friday, August 21st is also a kindergarten staggered start, which is a new concept implemented this year. Thank you all. Have a good night.